Zoe here, and today I'm joined by my friend Lauren.
Hi guys!
Lauren's channel, I'll link it below, it's called Sugar and Starch. She's an awesome YouTuber, so make sure after this video you check out her channel. Today we're going to talk about veganism because Lauren's actually been vegan for
2 years. Yeah, just about 2 years. My whole channel was basically about like why I went vegan and my sort of journey through it, and a lot of documenting what I found to be successful with like weight loss and feeling good, and you know, just the whole ethical side of things and stuff like that. So
yeah, and side note here, I just actually met Lauren just less than a week ago.
Which is so weird because I feel like I've known you forever.
Yeah, we just really hit it off. So we went to a vegan restaurant actually called Bloomers in Toronto. Definitely check it out if you live in Toronto because it's fantastic. Awesome. We'll get started with some more questions. So why did you go vegan?
I have a long sort of story that I feel like I was leading up to veganism for a while, but then I kind of had a couple things happen that made me make the switch all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. So I had been someone that really struggled with food and body image and my weight for a long time, and I was really, a lot of the time, unhappy with how I looked and how I felt. So I never had a good relationship with food. I was always either like eating tons of crappy food and then like really restricting and losing a bunch of weight and feeling awful because I wasn't eating nearly enough, and I felt really guilty about food. So that was sort of my precursor, but then I was living in Australia and I started developing really quite severe arthritis symptoms, and very long story short, I have lots of info on my channel, but a very long story short is that I went to different doctors and kind of got like an unofficial diagnosis for rheumatoid arthritis. And when that happened, I started doing lots of research, and I found that what most people do is just start taking medication. And I was 25, I wasn't interested in the medication. It's like completely toxic. And yeah, so I did some of my own research, and it was not hard to find a whole foods plant-based diet for treatment of not just autoimmune illnesses, but like a whole host of common illnesses and diseases today. And I did probably 6 months worth of research. Like I really had never imagined being vegan. I was someone that just ate whatever I wanted. Like I was really relaxed with my food. I've never identified as like an animal lover per se. I'm like allergic to everything. So I never even considered being vegetarian. But then once I found the idea of a whole foods plant-based diet, I started educating myself on the, you know, all the other aspects of being vegan, because I was just like most people, very uneducated. And I watched Cowspiracy, and I watched Forks Over Knives, and I watched everything, I read everything, and I found that I really did care about these things. I didn't know what my consumer choices were, you know, what they were contributing to, and I had no idea the impact that our food choices have on the environment. And it just sort of snowballed into this, like, I did it originally for my health, and because I saw all these people having really great weight loss results, but then on the side, I really started to invest in the ethical side of veganism, which I think is something that a lot more people actually do care about than they let on.
Yeah.
I didn't think I cared until I really educated myself, and I thought, I don't feel okay contributing to these industries. They're absolutely horrible. So yeah, I went vegan, and within about 3 months, my joint pain that was like really quite severe in my knees and in my wrists just sort of dissipated, and I'm still able to like I do have to be careful. I keep things mostly pretty unprocessed, and if I do that, then I have no symptoms anymore. And I was at the point where like I was struggling to walk, and like I didn't have like turning motion in my wrists anymore at all. And so my future was not looking very good. And then I found veganism, and I've often said that the arthritis pain I was experiencing was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because it's absolutely changed every aspect of my life. It is so much more than a diet, and I'm thankful every day.
That's amazing. It's amazing what your diet can do for your health and your long-term health.
Well, and I think like your mental attitude towards things. I just have a completely different outlook on life and where I'm going and the things that I do and why I do the things that I do and the impact I can have on my surrounding environment, the people around me. it's really sort of opened my mind up to things. And it's taught me to be open-minded because I guess I wasn't really open-minded, even though I probably thought I was. And now I try to extend that to everything that I do. And I always keep an open mind. And it's just, my life is completely different than it was 2 years ago. And it's all because I chose to change what I put in my mouth and why.
Yeah. Amazing. So you also have told me before that you went to the Thai Fruit Fest. So if you guys are familiar with Freely, so they throw the Fruit Fest every year now, and you've been the first 2 years.
Yeah, I've gone both years. I'm not actually able to go this year, but yeah, I went to the first one. I had only been vegan for like 3 or 4 months, but I was just like, it happened to fall on one of my breaks. I was teaching at the time. And so I went, and I think what the Fruit Festival has done is create communities really around the world, because up until then, so many people really only knew each other through the internet. And all of a sudden after the Fruit Festival, like I know I was living in Melbourne, Australia at the time, and it immediately created this community of people there. And, you know, like I started a Facebook group in Melbourne that brought a lot of people together, and there were some other people who sort of facilitated some meetups. And then when I moved back home, I wanted to create that community here. So we have a Facebook group here, and we do meetups, and I've seen that like all over the world. And I mean, I think that probably would have kind of happened on its own, but the Fruit Fest really accelerated this feeling of vegan community. And like you can go to any country in the world, any city in the world, and find other vegans, which I think is absolutely incredible. Because as soon as it becomes a social thing, and as soon as it becomes this thing where you have other people in your life who also care about what you care, like when
share the passion.
You share the passion, and it really solidifies what you're doing. Because even when I went to the Fruit Fest, I wasn't sold yet. Like not the way you're so sure of what you're doing. It took me a lot longer, especially since I had serious health issues, and they took a while to really start actually getting better. It wasn't like an overnight thing for me. So all of a sudden having this group of like 30 vegan friends in the city where I was living just like changed my life, and just like really solidified what I was doing. And I just saw it on a bigger scale. So I think that the Fruit Fest really has made smaller communities around the world. People that have met, people that have met at the Fruit Festival and then taken that back to their city, that feeling of vegan community, and started groups and meetups and things like that. And it's so, so important to foster that feeling of community, because it really should be a team effort.
Yeah, definitely. So besides your health, what are some more benefits to being vegan? Like, what are your top 5, let's say?
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't have like a top 50, but I mean, like I've said, I don't struggle with joint pain anymore, which was pretty huge. But I've also experienced about between 15 and 20 pounds weight loss, and I eat more now than I ever did before, and I enjoy my food more now than I ever did before. I don't associate it with guilt anymore. So I have a much, much better relationship with food, and I know that, eating doesn't mean, it doesn't, like I used to always have these binges where I'd eat a whole pizza, and then I'd feel so guilty. And now, like, as long as it's vegan, it's light, like I'll eat a whole pizza and I feel great. I never feel guilt about my food. I don't think of food anymore as just being like, piling on the pounds. Because I've just seen, like, you can eat in a way where you can literally eat as much as you want and not worry about gaining weight. And once that happens, your relationship with food becomes about enjoyment and energy and
fulfillment.
You
feel the food in your body. Like you know that once you have a raw breakfast of fruit, that glucose is going right to your brain. It's natural fruit sugars, and it just powers you.
And I don't think of food anymore as just being like a stimulant. Like I don't rely on it anymore as a stimulant. I used to come home and just think about like all the food I was gonna eat. And now I don't think of it that way. Like I still really enjoy my food, and I have days where I'll eat, less healthy and things like that, but I'm not so, like, I used to drink coffee every single day because it was something that I looked forward to when I woke up. But now I just feel like I enjoy the food I eat every single meal, and it makes me feel good that I don't have to be like, I can't wait to go home and drink a beer, or I can't wait to wake up and drink coffee and have a giant bowl of ice cream or whatever it is. I still do those things on occasion because I enjoy them, but not because I feel like I need that pick-me-up, that stimulant. And then in terms of health, I mean, like I was just saying, I used to be such a big coffee drinker, and I never decided to give it up It just sort of was something that I kind of got to the point where I didn't need it anymore. Like I used to be tired until like noon if I didn't have coffee, and now I wake up and within 5 minutes, like I'm good to go. The other thing is that I've always had asthma, and I used to take my inhalers like all the time, like especially if I was going to be active, I would always use my inhalers before being active, or I would get a lot of constriction, and I don't experience that anymore. So I'll go like months and months at a time without needing to use my inhalers at all. So like that's a pretty big,
awesome.
That wasn't even something that I thought of, but I mean, I just feel so much better in so many, I'm sure there's like a million things I'm not even thinking of. So I can't say enough. I have this story about how I was at a restaurant with a few friends 6 months before going vegan, and one of them was talking about a vegan diet, and I literally used the words, I would never go vegan. So I was like someone that was like I was not interested in it at all. I thought people were like, you know, extreme who were vegans. Yeah. I just thought like, you know, I just want to enjoy my food. Now, like, I think a big part of why I love being vegan is because I enjoy food and I get to eat more of it, and I don't have to feel guilty about it, and I also feel good about the way that I look now. And yeah, so for someone like me who never even considered being vegetarian, I really didn't think I cared. Like now I just wish this is something that everyone could experience, and I think it is happening. People are slowly, I think it's something everyone should just try. Just give it 30 days, and at the end of 30 days, you'll feel so good that you won't want to go back, and you won't miss the things that you think you're going to miss.
You don't, especially after you educate yourself, and especially if the ethical side of things really hits you, there's just no going back.
Yeah.
You like once you understand what it is to be a meat eater.
Yes.
And
like I said, I didn't think I cared. I wasn't like a animal lover by any means, but I saw what was going on, and like I watched Earthlings and I watched a bunch of other videos, and I found, turns out I do care. And not only do I care, but I so desperately wanted to be a part of a solution instead of a part of the problem. And I think most people would probably say that.
Yeah.
Once they, And the other thing I say about, because I know you have an audience of a lot of non-vegans, but a lot of the time what I say to people is don't think about it as the sacrifices that you're making or the things that you're giving up, because a lot of people say, well, I just love cheese, or I just love my steak. I love when people call it my steak, but I just love meat. I couldn't give it up. And I think what they don't think about is all the things that you gain. Like, sure, I loved brie cheese and I thought I liked bacon, but were they worth, you know, not having all the things that I have now? Absolutely not. It was a drop in the bucket of things I had to give up in exchange for all of the things that I have gained. So that's how I try to get people to think about veganism now.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions, leave them below, and go check out Lauren's channel if you do have a lot more questions on veganism, because she covers practically everything, even makeup and stuff. So yeah, check it out.
And the other thing I often encourage people to do is go back to like my earliest videos, because I look quite a bit different and I was just a lot more like congested, and so I like that with my channel I've kind of documented like my transition through a vegan diet and a lot of the benefits that I've experienced. Awesome. And I also have a lot of like food and recipes and things like that. Yeah,
great stuff on there. So check it out, guys, and thank you for watching.
But we're gonna eat some pizza and ice cream and beer.
Yeah. And it's all vegan.
All vegan.